Hey y'all, welcome back for another edition of one of our top 8 videos. This one, my very favorite top 8 video that we've ever done, the top 8 Tiki cocktails. Now, I don't claim to be an expert in Tiki culture. It's extremely nuanced, very particular, very rich. What I am is a huge fan of Tiki cocktails. I love strong, boozy, juicy, tropical, exotic cocktails. The flavors are unmatched among any of the cocktail categories out there. Tiki are my personal favorite. I love rum. I love the versatile nature of that spirit base. There are rums that you can taste that you're not even sure they're the same spirit, and that's just a very exciting, flavorful experience. So having said that, the top 8 Tiki cocktails, these are my favorite Tiki drinks. I think these are classic staple cocktails that all of y'all should try. We'll get started with a quintessential mid-century Tiki cocktail, the Cobra's Fang. What a badass cocktail name, the Cobra's Fang. This is one of Don the Beachcomber's original recipes. The Cobra's Fang was on the menu along with some of these other exotic sounding cocktail names that were meant to transform you to some exotic, vaguely dangerous land instead of your 9-to-5 suburban job going back and forth from work. And it was really effective. Don the Beachcomber is known as one of the godfathers of Tiki culture, and this was all the rage in the mid-century in the United States, especially on the West Coast. The Cobra's Fang is in many ways very typical of these mid-century cocktails like this that had a lot of booze in it, it had some fruit elements, and it was exotically named. Really a cool drink. Y'all, if the Cobra's Fang is number 8 on this list, you're in for a real treat. To make a Cobra's Fang, start with half an ounce of Fashionola syrup. We've used equal parts of our Pacific strawberry syrup and our tropical passion fruit syrup. Next, add 1.5 ounces of dark Jamaican rum, half an ounce of 151 proof Demerara rum, half an ounce of falernum, half an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, half an ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice, a dash of absinthe, and a dash of Angostura bitters. Add 6 ounces of crushed ice and blend for 5 seconds. Pour into a highball glass or a badass Tiki mug if you've got one. Garnish with a lime wheel and a mint leaf. Beware the bite of the Cobra's Fang. Next on our list, another really cool name. Y'all, this list is chock full of really badass cocktail names. This one, the Navy Grog. Who doesn't want to drink a cocktail called a grog? From the Navy, a Navy grog. It's so cool. The name grog itself refers to a drink that was issued to the Royal Navy for a long time that consisted of water and rum. This was a way to get rum rations into the sailors in the form of this concoction called a grog. This version is much more complicated, sweeter, has a lot more going on, and it uses one of my favorite ingredients. Everybody here can attest, I love allspice dram. You'll also see it referred to sometime as pimento dram. I think it just brings a really warm, rich flavor, very deep flavor profile to these cocktails, and the Navy Grog is an excellent use of allspice dram in a cocktail. To make a Navy Grog, start with 3/4 of an ounce of fresh grapefruit juice. Next, add an ounce of light white rum, an ounce of Caribbean blended rum, an ounce of Navy rum, like Pusser's, 1/4 ounce of that special ingredient, pimento dram liqueur, or allspice dram, 1/4 ounce of honey syrup, and 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Add ice and shake for 10 seconds. Strain into a double rocks glass filled with crushed ice. Enjoy this Navy Grog. Cheers. Coming in at number 6 on our list, the Fog Cutter. This cocktail is attributed to Victor Bergeron, or Trader Vic, along with Don Beach. Those are the 2 real godfathers of the Tiki movement. And like most Tiki cocktails, this one has a variety of ingredients, some of which are pretty exotic. What I love about this cocktail is that it's got rum, brandy, and gin in it. It's like the Long Island iced tea of Tiki cocktails, and it's really, really tasty combination of ingredients. To make a Fog Cutter, start with half an ounce of almond orgeat syrup. Next, add 3/4 of an ounce of white rum, 3/4 of an ounce of brandy, 3/4 of an ounce of gin, an ounce of fresh lemon juice, an ounce of fresh orange juice, and half an ounce of Amontillado sherry. Add ice and shake hard for 10 seconds. Strain into a highball glass over crushed ice and garnish with a fresh mint sprig. Cheers to the Fog Cutter, a great, great cocktail. Next up, coming in at number 5 on our list, the 3 Dots and a Dash. 3 Dots and a Dash is another classic Don Beach canonical Tiki recipe. The 3 Dots and a Dash is both highlighted by the garnish, which creates sort of 3 dots and a dash on the drink. It also is a Morse code for the letter V, or victory, for the Allied forces during World War II. A really cool legacy for a cocktail like that. Lastly, there's a badass cocktail bar in Chicago. If you're ever up that way, it's one of the best cocktail bars in the country. It's called 3 Dots and a Dash. Like several of these cocktails, we have a split base with cognac and rum. It also uses falernum, another classic tiki liqueur modifier, as well as that allspice dram, which I think is just a really good touch in a lot of these tropical drinks. To make a 3 Dots and a Dash, reach for 1.5 ounces of Martinique VSOP rum. The funkier, the better. Next, add ½ ounce of Caribbean blended rum, 1/4 ounce of falernum, 1/4 ounce of allspice dram, ½ ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, ½ ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice, ½ ounce of honey syrup, and a dash of aromatic bitters. Rapidly blend all ingredients with crushed ice and pour into a tiki mug or Pilsner glass. Garnish the 3 Dots and a Dash with 3 maraschino cherries and a slice of pineapple arranged to form, well, 3 dots and a dash. Enjoy this canonical cocktail. Coming in at number 4, another great name for a cocktail, the Jungle Bird. The Jungle Bird combines pineapple, rum, and that touch of exotic bitter Campari to make a really unique tasting and exotic cocktail. This cocktail comes to us courtesy of Jeffrey Ong, who worked at the Kuala Lumpur Hilton back in the 1970s. He created it as a welcome cocktail, and I guess he was paying homage to some exotic birds that wander the property. Again, this idea of transforming your cocktail experience by moving you away from whatever mundane thing you're doing on a random Tuesday to some exotic far off island. It's a really cool experience to get into some of these tiki drinks, and the Jungle Bird is no exception. To make a Jungle Bird, start with 3/4 ounce of pineapple gum syrup. Next, add 1.5 ounces of dark rum, ½ ounce of Campari, and 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice. Add ice and whip shake for 5 seconds. Strain into a glass filled with crushed ice and garnish with a lime wedge and pineapple fronds. Enjoy your exotic Jungle Bird cocktail. Cheers. The bronze medal winner, a Painkiller cocktail. Truly iconic drink. If people haven't heard of a Painkiller, you've been living under a rock. Concocted by Daphne Henderson at the Soggy Dollar Bar. They used to make people anchor offshore and swim in to get these drinks. And by the time they got there, they'd pull out all their soggy dollars and hand them over. And Daphne and her staff would hand over a Painkiller, which has to be made now with Pusser's rum by trademark, by law. If you have a Painkiller, it's gotta be made with Pusser's. What iconic story surrounding an iconic drink. To make your Painkiller, add 3/4 ounce of toasted coconut syrup. Next, add 1.5 ounces of Pusser's aged rum, 1.5 ounces of fresh pineapple juice, and ½ ounce of orange juice. Add ice and shake hard for 10 seconds. Strain into a rocks glass filled with crushed ice and garnish with grated nutmeg and a citrus wheel. Sip these and let the pain melt away. Cheers. So y'all have made it this far, and you're gonna be rewarded with 2 badass cocktails, the best tiki drinks out there. I kind of went around and around about this one in my own head. Was this the number 1 drink? Was this the number 2 drink? We finally awarded it the silver medal. This is the Mai Tai. This cocktail was created by Trader Vic back in the 1940s. Again, one of the true godfathers of tiki culture. He wanted to highlight this very special rum, a 17-year-old J. Ray and Nephew Jamaican rum, which had some really funky, complex flavors, and he did so by adding a little bit of orange liqueur, a little bit of orgeat, and lime juice, and what he wound up with was one of the truly iconical cocktails in the world. After presenting it to some Tahitian friends, they exclaimed, Mai Tai, I'm not gonna pronounce this correctly, so at me in the comments section. They said, Mai Tai Roa Ai, which means the best out of this world. And so the name stuck. He came up with the Mai Tai cocktail, which simply means the best. The best way to tell if a bar knows what it's doing is to ask for a Mai Tai. If it comes back and it's this fruit, sweet sugar bomb of a drink that's totally out of balance, you can't taste the rum, they're doing it wrong. If it comes back a weird color, or if it comes back this tall, something's off. A true Mai Tai is one of the very best cocktails you can have, and we're gonna teach you how to make it correctly. To make a Mai Tai, start by adding 3/4 ounce of almond orgeat syrup to your shaker tin. Next, add 2 ounces of rum, ½ ounce of orange liqueur, and 1 ounce of lime juice, filled with ice, and shake hard for 10 seconds. Strain over crushed ice in a rocks glass, and garnish with a fresh mint sprig and a spent lime shell. Sit back and enjoy what is at least the second best tiki cocktail. Cheers. All right, y'all. The moment we've all been waiting for, me especially. As much as I love a Mai Tai and all of these drinks, the number 1 tiki cocktail, a truly special drink, a delicious concoction. It's got like 8 or 10 ingredients in it. It's the quintessential tiki drink. It's the zombie. This thing adds everything you want in a tiki drink. It's got fresh fruit, cinnamon, those warm baking spice flavors. It's got multiple rums in it. It's big, it's boozy, it's absolutely delicious. It's like on Spinal Tap when they turn the amps up to 11. That's what the zombie is. This is an 11 cocktail. If you've never had one, go out and make one right now. Do you have to buy 10 ingredients and stock your bar with it? Yeah, boo-hoo, it's worth it. This one comes to us courtesy of Don Beach back in the 1930s, a long ass time ago. Very old drink, almost 100-year-old cocktail. A businessman walks in, he's hungover, and he says, make me something to take this hangover away. And Don, the beachcomber, gives him a zombie. He prepares for his business meeting, he goes, he does it. He comes back to Don and he says, hey man, that was a delicious drink. What you really did is you turned me into a zombie for my business meeting. You didn't cure my hangover, you turned me into a zombie. And so the name stuck. This is the zombie cocktail. If you drink enough of these, you will turn into a zombie, but they may be worth it. To make our version of a zombie, start with ½ an ounce of real grenadine. Next, add 1½ ounces of good Jamaican rum, 1½ ounces of Puerto Rican rum, an ounce of overproof 151 rum, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, 1/4 ounce of fresh grapefruit juice, ½ an ounce of falernum, ½ an ounce of cinnamon syrup, 2 dashes of absinthe, and a dash of aromatic bitters filled with ice, and shake until chilled. Strain over crushed ice into a chilled highball, or tiki mug if you've got it, and garnish with a mint sprig and lime. Sit back, enjoy this complex, beautiful, highly exotic cocktail, and know you're sipping on the best tiki cocktail there is, the zombie. So there you have it, the top 8 tiki cocktails. But don't believe me, go out and try them for yourself. Start with number 8 and work your way to the ultimate tiki cocktail, the zombie. One that's sure to kick your ass but leave you thinking, man, that drink was so freaking good. Thanks for joining us on another episode of these top 8s. If you like content like this, like and subscribe. Hit us up in the comments section down below. And until then, happy cocktailing and cheers.